I'm in my light. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a great time at Zenkaikon. My name is Joe Small. I'm an associate professor of dance over at Swarthmore College, which is Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. It's a little bit south and a part of Philadelphia greater area. And while we are a small liberal arts college, we do have a very big drum ensemble, taiko drums, in fact. How many people have heard of or seen taiko drumming before? Oh, it's like practically everybody here. That's really great. Possibly you know of some groups called like Kodo, for instance. Is that one? Oh yeah, fantastic. So anyway, the kind of performance art, obviously, that we're performing here today. Again, generically, it's called taiko. In Japan, it's called, it has several different names. It could be called wa-daiko. Wa would be that prefix for Japanese, so Japanese drumming. It could also be called, an academic term is kumi-daiko. And kumi would be like group drumming. Sometimes it does refer, as in ensemble drumming. It can also refer in certain contexts to putting a whole bunch of these drums together. And sometimes we just generically refer to it as taiko, for instance. And generally people know what you're talking about sometimes they have to understand it in terms of, it could just mean drum, for instance. But tai would be large, or in other words, dai, but tai would be large, fat, and then ko or tsuzumi would be drum in this case. So this kind of way of playing the drums is sort of a post-war, after World War II phenomenon. And prior to that, of course, these kinds of drums that you see here, like those ones there, you still see them in temples and shrines in Japan. I'm guessing a number of people have been to Japan before, is this correct? Okay, a few folks, all right. Whatever the case, so you would see that they would be carved out of a solid tree, solid piece of wood, and then it's basically hollowed out. Craftsmen basically take a lot of time and effort to do that, and it's successively, they can be the size of, 8+ feet in diameter, for instance, with an old growth tree, and then they get successively smaller and smaller, kind of like matryoshka dolls. So anyway, otherwise you can see they have cowhide, sometimes they have horsehide, and then they're tacked into place at a very, very high tension. And once those are in, those are pretty much set, although humidity and weather and things like that have an effect. But there's sort of the apocryphal story of basically, in ye olde Japan, so to speak, basically that the sound of a taiko from the temple or the shrine could really determine the boundaries of that village, for instance. I don't know if that's true or not, but it makes for an excellent story, I find. But otherwise, they would be featured in festivals, omatsuri, for instance, as well as royal court music. There's different forms of taiko, and then it also made its way into traditional forms of theater. No theater, for instance. Kabuki particularly has musicians backstage who can use something like a large miya-daiko or temple drum, and they call that an odaiko. And so anyway, there's many, many different classifications. Too much to get into here. I know you're here to see some drumming from the amazing Swarthmore Taiko Ensemble students. So we have a couple of pieces for you today. The first one is entitled Bounding. It's a piece that I composed and arranged, and it's basically in the sort of the motif of my teacher and mentor, who's a person named Eitetsu Hayashi in Japan, who's considered one of the foremost pioneers in the field of taiko drumming. And I'll introduce the second one after we get there, because I think everybody's going to need to catch their breath from us. All right, welcoming up to stage, Swarthmore Taiko Ensemble, we've got with us Is Lee, Clara Mulligan, Jenny Williams, Drake Ross, Laura Huang. This is Bounding. That's all right. Yes, once again, Swarthmore Taiko Ensemble with the piece Bounding. You can go ahead and set up for our next one. Go ahead and use the spikes. I'll try to rearrange what's going on back there, but that's pretty much my location. Sorry. Anyway, as they get set up, we have one more piece for you. It's entitled Tatsumaki, and this gets into some interesting territory in terms of taiko. So, although it's most associated strongly with Japan, it's actually considered a global art form and phenomenon. So in 1968, although taiko drums had made their way to the US through the Japanese-American community, the first taiko group got started through Seiichi Tanaka, who came from Nagano Prefecture originally, and he started San Francisco Taiko Dojo around 1968. He had just come in 1967, and at the basically the Nihon Machi, the Japantown in San Francisco, he had noticed at the festivals, taiko didn't exist in the way he had seen it before, so he briefly did go back to begin studying and begin a lot of connections and relationships, and then created his own school, a dojo and style, from different forms. From there, groups rapidly exploded across the United States in the 1970s, also coming out of the civil rights and social activist movements, including through Japanese American and Asian American solidarity movements. So rapidly following were, for instance, San Jose Taiko, Kinara Taiko was also there, which is in Los Angeles. Denver Taiko, and finally in 1979, Seoul Taiko in New York City finally made it, so Taiko made its way to the East Coast. Sorry if I'm in your way. And eventually, collegiate taiko was getting its start around 1990 at UCLA. So basically, there were a whole new generation of Japanese Americans growing up, and particularly through the Nikkei Student Union there, they received funding and so forth to get a taiko group going there. It's since grown and grown and grown. So this piece that we're setting up for now is entitled Tatsumaki. It's actually by a then Stanford student named Hiroshi Tanaka, who has still gone on and continues to play taiko to this day on the West Coast. Hiroshi-san is, actually I think at one point he worked for Konami or Bandai Namco or something. So anyway, I don't know if there's much of a gaming connection per se with taiko. I mean, there is the game, we know that. But anyhow, so this is actually originally a collegiate piece, but it's considered one of these pieces from the North American collegiate tradition that has made its way sort of into communities, and even Kenny Endo, a renowned taiko artist based in Honolulu, has made it part of his repertoire. So this is sort of it's not exactly an open piece per se, but as long as we're paying and giving respect and credit to where it's due. So this is our arrangement of Tatsumaki, which does translate as whirlwind or tornado, if you will. You may be able to pick up some of the choreography from there. While they're getting started, does anybody have any questions? Yes? Sorry? In tornado? What about it? Yes, the name of the piece translates as tornado or whirlwind, Tatsumaki. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
You mentioned the 8-foot taikos made from old trees. Have you ever had a chance to play one of those?
Yes, so the question is, I mentioned an 8-foot wide diameter taiko made from, an old tree. Yes, I've had chances to play on really, really, really big old daikos before. As you can see, it takes quite a workout to kind of play them, and you have to develop and train yourself around playing them. A lot of groups like Kodo, for instance, will, there's a whole idea or philosophy of running marathons as part of your training. So it gets pretty intense. You don't technically need that to play it, and that's one of the beautiful things about taiko is the point of access, you could say, is it's very accessible. Overall, it's very open, and the fact that is most everybody, if you can get up there and you can hold the stick, or there's another way to hit the drum, and you're approaching it in the right way with the right kind of respect, there you go. You're already playing. You're making a sound. Yes. Oh, that's a good question. Are there any rules or standards that you have to keep in mind while writing taiko music? Yes and no, and it depends, really. I mean, It's one of these forms where you're dealing with tradition, but also but tradition is sort of a kind of a problematic term, but it's also an intercultural form and a transnational form, and it's a global form. So you see all sorts of influences put into it. So I don't want to get into it too far, but for instance, you could see a Western trained composer like Maki Ishii from Japan wrote a piece called Monochrome for Ondekoza, which was one of those initial pioneering groups, and then later Kodo they became. And so that's totally written in Western score. I said monochrome. Monoprism is the orchestral version that you do with essentially a Western orchestra, for instance. And my teacher works with orchestras as well. So that's all sheet music, essentially. But it takes more than the sheet music to essentially perform it, because you have to be able to perform it, is the thing. There's other, again, certain rhythms, certain approaches you'll see here come out of a lot of different amalgamations or folk traditions and ideas and aesthetics about playing. So for this one in particular, it's sort of emphasizing a notion that you could call waza in general. Waza would be like it's essentially like a kind of like skill, but like intelligent skill. And another an aesthetic which we can't quite get at, and a number of academics have written about it, but iki would be the other one. Not ikigai, which people have heard about. Iki would be from like the Shitamachi, the Tokyo area, but considered old Tokyo, Edo. And so this kind of way of playing, in some way, some of the choreography comes out of, and it's sort of generations removed, yet at the same time related. There was the character Skeroku, and Skeroku people have heard of Skeroku. He's a kabuki character, and he's kind of considered a bit of a Robin Hood in the sense of, he's quick-witted and good with a sword, and dashing with the ladies and so forth, and he fights bad people and so forth. And there's a certain urbane wittiness and kind of a man about town, but it's a fictional. He is essentially a fictional character, but one of those pioneering groups in the early 60s really idealized that sort of character. And they wanted to kind of inject those sorts of aesthetics and feel into the kind of way they were playing. That makes its way into the style that you see here, to a degree. And then transpose on top of that West Coast collegiate taiko from the 1990s, and then we're working with it in different ways. So anyway, without further ado, sorry, there was one last question, sorry, in the back. Did you have a question? Sorry, I remember. It's all good. Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and play some tatsumaki. Once again, Swarthmore Taiko Ensemble. From the right, we got Clara Mulligan, Bonji Onuma, Drake Roth, Laura Huang, Iz Lee, Jenny Williams, Evan Chin, and myself, Joe Small. Thank you so much for coming. Please enjoy Zenkaikon. We were Swarthmore Taiko Ensemble. Thank you.